King, you're muted.
Oh, listen, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Just
Yes,
opened
JB.
Eve Shaw.
Oh, shit.
Yo,
Yo, what you saying, bro?
you saying you're it?
Yeah, cool. Still, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. You just started, have you?
Yeah, literally just now, bro.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna be listening in, yeah? I'm just cooking, I'm just getting in now, so I'm cook dinner real quick, but I'll listen in.
Yeah, can't say no more. I ain't really got much to say, really. I think we can get a move up from here still. So I'm looking at higher prices to sell into. What chart am I using? Is it this one? Yeah. Alright, cool. Yeah, so I'm just looking at sort of these levels, this area here, for price to just come into, take out these highs, possibly trade up into 40k, and this range is where I kind of want to be selling into. So I'll be looking for weakness up here, price to sort of hold above, what's this, like 37,800, just come into these levels here. And then once it gets there, I'll be looking for weakness. So something along the lines of ranging around here for displaying some level of weakness, maybe losing this level, this resistance level where the highs are, and confirming as resistance before selling. But 40k anyway, I'll be sort of averaging into my trades, trying to push my. I think I've got my stop loss.
Hi, guys.
For my. Yo, what you saying, bro? I've got my stop loss for my swing trades at 41k. So as we push higher up into here, I'll be looking at sort of averaging in around 40k. Feeling that once my stops get hit up here, I'll be looking to average up here as well, a bit higher, and yeah, possibly using on a 10x. Let me just have a look. Possibly using these highs as my stop loss. It's a good area to use. That's 7%, which I wouldn't mind too much if I'm averaging up there. 7%. I'll most probably use between 5 and 8%, I would say, for trades around this 40 to 41k level. Ethereum, I think I'm out of my. Let me just check my positions quickly. So I should be out of. Okay, now one swing trade still open. Ethereum swing trade still open. BNB swing trade still open. And my BTC swing trade still open. Ethereum and Bitcoin swing trades are currently in a loss. But I did reduce my positions earlier today because I thought the market was going to go higher, just because we were holding this trend line here. So around 37,800, I think, is where I cut my positions by 75%. Let me just check. Yeah, around 37,400 I cut my positions. And yeah, my Ethereum USDT, my 100x swing on Ethereum got stopped. I'll put that in the log in a bit. That's like 1% gone there. So yeah, literally just watching to see what happens now. Just really looking for whether or not we get a continuous bullish structure going through up into this 40k weekly level, or whether or not we start breaking down at these levels. Get rid of that. And up there. Up there. Ali, do you have any questions, bro? There's not much I really have to share in terms of analysis today. There's not really much going on.
Nah, it's just, yeah. I mean, I looked this morning. I couldn't really see any good trades. But my technical analysis is pretty shit at the minute. I got on the short though right now.
Yeah, this was a good trade from here. Once you kind of see, like, if you had this trend line drawn up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been sort of invalidated here, but as you can see, as price has been trading up, it's kind of reclaimed it.
Yeah.
So this return to this trend line here, and sort of the gradual sort of consolidation and sort of building up of longs at this level, that would have been a good trade. That's over like half a day, I think.
Yeah.
From like early this morning, the start of Asia session, going into sort of New York, like New York session like 1 early afternoon, or early afternoon. So
you know that account you started with like $100, how's that going?
200, and I'm up roughly 15%.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm 16% realized. I'm currently sitting at like 0.5% in unrealized profits. But I'm most probably, if I hold on to my swing trades, I'm most probably gonna lose if stop losses get hit. I'm most probably gonna lose about 3 or 4%. I'm not closing them just because at these levels, I'm not too sure where the market's going, and I would rather sort of stay in, have a bit of risk in the market, and sort of scaling at higher prices. So just cut the amount of risk when you're uncertain, and then just build up once you get more confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, in general, do you feel we're going back to 28 and then bouncing, or you see longer term we just stagnate?
I'm not sure. I think the lows are kind of where I'm looking, so that is around 28k, I believe. But realistically, in terms of like, let me just get rid of all of these drawings. In terms of where the market is on the weekly, I think Answers was saying earlier today that this could possibly be a bottom. But We're just wondering if anyone thinks the bottom's in, which it could possibly be. I don't see it personally. And for me, possibility that we could be returning to bullishness is above this level here. Because that's a change in market structure. Once we take that out, then we have a change in market structure.
5K, we go bullish.
Yeah, so we basically have right now we have a higher high from this swing here, and then once we get above this level here, we'll have a higher high. So really what I'd be looking for is something like come back up into this level, trade above here, take this higher, and then find support at this level. That's where I'll start looking to get into longs for sort of this area here. These has
if we do push there, where would you say we go from then into a proper bull market? Or because I think with the last top, there was loads of FOMO and stuff, so it was kind of obvious if you've been in crypto for a bit of time that we were going to crash, because that's what happens every time.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, realistically, I will always sort of keep my eye on bearish scenarios until we get above this point. Because this one, for me, it is sort of it. If we get above here and can find support and start trading higher up into sort of like the 46s and with that, I'll be trying to get long at these levels anyway if we have this move. So if we come up to this level and start trading lower, I'll be trying to find longs within that. But I personally can't see realistically any reason why we would be long-term bullish from these levels without at least coming and taking out this liquidity. What I can see is the market possibly being manipulated up into these levels to get people to then return to bullish sentiment before sending it lower. Because what you get is the lower price goes, the more fee you get in the market and the more people selling. And you kind of you can't have a market where everyone is selling, because if everyone's selling, there's no one buying. So you kind of need to assist the buyers going into these markets. And then once you get enough people buying, you have enough liquidity to sell. So you see the market definitely trading higher before we go lower. And this move here, all the way down, definitely needs a pullback. If you can see from like 28, 29k to 52k, we did get a decent sized pullback. And we haven't had anything like that on the bearish side yet. So we could, if we look at price range, if we look at this pullback here, is about 23%. So if we look at a possible pullback on the other side, we could be seeing here possibly, let's say 30-40% to that level, just to get people fully confident that we've changed back to bullishness.
Alright, yeah. You know, with Russia and Ukraine, do you reckon that could impact crypto? Because I think if Russia do invade, I think crypto would go up, if anything. Because
I'm not too sure. It depends. I think in times of uncertainty in the market, you do get a weird sort of trading environment. So I think sometimes, like in war times, I do believe there can sometimes be runs in stock markets. That's a run in risk assets, which Bitcoin is and crypto is. So what you might get is if we do get confirmation of war or some sort of combat situation or anything like that, you might see a run in crypto. But saying that, you could also see a run to safe havens like government yields. I would expect that if we're going to war, the US might decide to step in or sort of help out, which would mean the US government would be selling bonds, which would then push yields up, and yields going up would mean that stocks could also go up, I believe.
Yeah,
so
that's logical.
yeah, I'm not too sure. Actually, no, that wouldn't be the case. They would be selling bonds for dollars, which would take dollars out of the market, which would mean increasing demand of dollars. People could possibly sell Bitcoin. I don't know. Realistically, my macroeconomic knowledge isn't great enough yet for that. I haven't sort of experienced conflict and been in the markets at the same time. So really, if that does happen, it will be a first for me. It will be a good sort of opportunity to kind of figure out what the market does and be in the market when that kind of stuff is happening. Yes, kiddo, what are you saying? Who went bait for this? You man are doing up the chat for them. Yeah, man. JB, what do you think? What's happening with the markets, man? Are you there? Are you cooking? No. Jeez. Man's most probably beating his meat, bro, while making pasta. Another thing I'm paying attention to is the pound against the dollar. I am short from 134.50, but just because Bitcoin's found support, I'm wondering if we could possibly find support here at these levels as well. There's a support level here. Not the strongest, but it is a weekly support level, so we might just be seeing changing market structure, possibly back either up to these highs or sort of this level here, which has just recently been, well, it's really the same level as this. It's really this level just extended out. If we think of it as a zone. So yeah, possible support here. I'm not sure how high we can go while the US dollar is trading higher as well. I think once we get to this support level, if we can hold above it, that will give me more confirmation. It does look like as well that market tried to take these lows and couldn't. So we're just returning to bullishness. And possibly the next stop is, I don't know why I'm using trend lines, but these are the next levels that need to sort of get tried, tested. So possibility for the dollar to trade higher here. If the dollar trades higher, then I would expect, just because of the market environment we're in, that Bitcoin trades lower. But you do get times in the market, I think, if we're looking at sort of 2021 in general, the dollar was pushing higher while Bitcoin was pushing higher. So demand for dollars doesn't necessarily mean weakness in Bitcoin, but with the change in monetary policy that I expect to start happening this year, not just with the Federal Reserve, with like the Central Bank of England and the more established economies, I'll just expect dollar demand to increase, while risk assets, you can include the pound and the Aussie dollar in that as well, just to start trading a bit lower. The pound really hasn't recovered since Brexit. I do believe that wherever we are right now, this range between sort of, let's say 140, is that 140 there? That's 138. Say here, and I'm actually not going to say these lows. We can say 120. We're kind of stuck within this range yet, so we could possibly look at the mid ranges between the two, between sort of this mid area here. What line is that? Let me get rid of this line. You could possibly look at sort of these, the extreme, the range low down here, the range high up here. Let's call that range high. Let's call that range low. And these are just the mid ranges here. I don't have a label for the mid ranges, but I'm gonna look at this level here as the mid range. So we could possibly play sells from this level, below this level, buys above this level, the same way, sells down to this level, buys if it's looking bullish from those levels, sells below, blah blah blah, just as a basic Basic point of call. Obviously, weekly levels, you're going to have to refine that down into lower time frames once you trade to those levels. But
Yes, King, you can.
something to look at. What you saying, bro?
You know what I'm doing right now?
What you doing?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see a keyboard, bro.
Man, do working, cuz. You see this? Bro, shall I show you something? Imagine, yeah?
Yeah, go on, bro.
Where is it?
What is that revision?
It's economics, it's economics.
Okay.
Where's it gone? We're talking about speculation, fam.
Yeah,
Speculation
teach
is
me
the single
something,
most
man. Teach me
important
something,
determinant
man.
of the short-term
trying to-
price, fam. If
I'm trying to learn
speculators...
economics.
Bro, this is about trading, fam. If speculators fear falling in the pound here, the pound will fall as they'll sell their pounds and buy another currency, fam.
Say that again.
Basically, if speculators, fear of falling the pound here,
Yeah.
they will sell their pounds and therefore the value will decrease, fam. Get me Forex and that. What's it there? Well, listen, hear what, I need to finish this, innit?
Yeah, calm. I'm going to actually end this call here.
Yeah, go
Still,
on,
it's
say.
a quick one today, so I ain't really got much to say.
Say
But yeah, 100x long to 40k.
say no more.
Yeah.
Say.
Calm down.